somewhere over the rainbow, way up high.
Oh, joy it is. Welcome, Dr. Rani. Thank you so much. We have so much fun preparing for podcasts, isn't it? Yeah, there's always something last minute. So get us laughing, which is wonderful.
Yes,
wonderful.
yep.
It's a good way to go.
Yeah.
So, and I think when we don't take ourselves too seriously, that's also a wonderful thing, right?
Yes.
So
it takes the pressure off.
Yes, it does. It does. So thank you for being here. I'll repeat myself a little bit to say that Dr. Rani was somebody, when I call somebody to come on our podcast, and this is still pretty new for me, and for someone to take that chance, trust me, and to get on it without any fuss, I love that about you and the like-minded people I meet, and even after many years after we have met, that we come together in this way. That's the beautiful human connection that we make, isn't it?
Yeah.
So thank you.
You're welcome.
Starting with gratitude always.
Thank you for asking me.
Of course. And you have done this before, haven't you? Like you do podcasts yourself?
In various forms. Yeah. My old roommate and I used to have a show that we did together.
I see.
And it was kind of the same format. It was
see.
just, we would talk about random topics, and she ended up moving back to Florida and I moved back to Sacramento, and we did a couple live episodes through streaming, her on the East Coast, me on the West Coast. But then life happens and we needed to take a break and figure stuff out. And then since then, the pandemic and all that stuff. So like just guest spots here and there. But not my first rodeo. As a guest, at least. Rodeo. As a guest.
Yes.
Anytime I try to start something on my own, I'm just like, nope, it's not time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Isn't that a good awareness to have?
Oh, yeah.
Like not to take things too seriously. Things will happen at the right time always, right?
Yeah.
And the divine timing is spectacular.
Yeah.
So not doubting that at all.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah. So let's jump in. And so when I met you, it was a topic on Ayurvedic healing, I believe. And so where has that taken you? And what do you do with that now?
With Ayurveda?
Yes.
Well, I don't actively use it as a service. I do use it in my own life, like in my personal life, and how I relate things to nature and the different doshas and things like that. And then if I have friends or family or clients that inquire about it or have questions about it, then it's like a teachable moment, but very basic teachable moment. So yeah, I don't really practice it in a full practitioner way.
Got it. And you are also a life coach, aren't you?
I do life coaching.
Okay.
Yes.
And what do you do on that platform?
Honestly, it tends to be on like a mind, body, soul level. So depending on where I'm meeting the client at, it could either be we're focusing on mental aspect of things, like how to, for example, get a hold of thoughts and how to reframe or restructure how we think about certain things, which most commonly is known as that neuro-linguistic pathway, the NLP. Like there's people that do specifically just that. But as a life coach, I tend to simplify things. There's so many things that are complicated out there, and I think people get overwhelmed with certain knowledge. And so when I educate a client on NLP or even their body with workouts or even spiritual knowledge, I try to disperse that information in the most simple way so that it's easy to comprehend and also easy to apply to their life. Yeah, because nothing's going to change unless you apply it to your life in some way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So thank you for sharing a little bit about that. And I feel like I see you as this person who is on the journey of eat, pray, love. Or have you been on that journey of eat, pray, love? Do you think that was a part of your becoming? I think you were on a self-search journey in the last few years.
Oh, it's been longer than that.
long-
But definitely, I think anyone who seeks out the meaning of life, or like the meaning of their life, is on an eat, pray, love journey, right?
Yes.
And for me, it started actually in 2008. That was when I started leaning heavily on spirituality.
2008.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's kind of when things for me started shifting. Like, I would read certain books. When I would read the books, it would just like resonate very deeply. And then it would be a matter of like implementing what little lesson in that book needed to be implemented in my life at the time. And it is what got me through the journey of medical school, and then relying heavily on that spirituality when residency didn't happen. And then, what am I supposed to do? Like, I have all this knowledge, like, what direction are you taking me in, God? And God is the word I choose to use. But I think, and also I'd always been in fitness. So like, I'd always played sports. My bachelor's was in kinesiology. So I was always around athletics. And, so when residency didn't happen, then it hit that mental of depression and like, what am I doing with my life type of thing. And because I had already a foundation in spiritual knowledge and a foundation in body already, it was just, I heavily relied on working out and praying or meditating to get me through that moment of, I still have to keep going. Like, life doesn't just stop here because I didn't get residency. There was a healing process to it. There was always something that still kept me going. And for me, I really think it was my spiritual foundation.
Yes.
That kept me going.
Yes.
Yeah.
So let's dive a little bit into that process of why did you choose, so for everybody to know, I call Dr. Rani because she earned that title. And so you went to medical school.
Yes.
Why did you choose to go to medical school, and when?
I chose to go to medical school. I kind of was in a crossroads in my life. So I had graduated with my undergrad in 2005, and I was worked in a physical therapy office for a while, didn't realize that's not what I wanted to pursue. And I was always in health. Like, my parents worked at a hospital. So since I was a kid, I was always exposed to that environment. I always knew I wanted to help people when I was little. And I guess as far as medical school goes, it was just like, it was always that highest echelon of like helping people, And so after working a few years, I decided to go back to school after undergrad. And at that time I was doing admitting at the hospital. So I was already in a hospital environment. So that was where the crossroads was. Something in me wanted to go back to school. I contemplated nursing because it was the easiest to transition into from kinesiology as far as credits and units go.
Okay.
And then I had also applied for a supervisor position in the department I was working.
Okay.
So at that point, that was like 2009, and 2008 is when I started that spiritual journey. So then I was leaving it in God's hands. It was like, okay, like whichever one comes first, that's the direction I'll go. And when I applied for medical school, I got that. And I never heard about the supervisor job. Like, no one ever called me back. Not even my own manager talked to me about that position. So I was like, okay, this is the route God wants me to go in. And even when I started that path, anytime I would ask for a sign, I would get confirmation through some sign that this is the direction I'm supposed to go in. So that's what led me to continue down that path. And I mean, I've always been fascinated by the human body. So it was like, it only felt natural to just keep pursuing knowledge in that direction. Yeah.
So-
at that point in my life.
I
Yeah.
see. So you went to medical school.
Yes.
How was that? Did you enjoy? Was it hard?
It's very challenging. Yes. I went to a Caribbean school, so it's a little more fast paced. And so like what most people do in the US in the first 2 years, we do in like 18 months because we don't get breaks.
Yes. Yes.
We go to school through the summer and everything.
That's correct.
All our clinical rotations were in the US. Mine were in Chicago. And then I used to tell people, like, it's just a matter of putting in the time. Anyone can go to medical school, but it's just putting the time in to want to learn that stuff. But it is challenging. Like,
Yes.
if there's no interest in it,
Yes.
it's very hard to get through, or it may take a little longer, or, yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's okay. Some of
Oh,
us
yeah.
are late bloomers, aren't we?
Yeah.
At least I can say I am.
Well, I'm an Aries, so for me, I just see the finish line. And I don't,
Okay.
like, it's just, I will sprint to the finish line. And
is-
that's
I-
one thing that sometimes I regret in certain things of my life, because, I mean, I don't regret any decision I've made because it's led me to who I am today.
Absolutely.
But sometimes when I look back in retrospect, I'm like, if I had slowed down a little, I maybe wouldn't have passed certain opportunities, or, you know, like maybe I would have seen them. Yeah. Yeah.
That is fascinating to me because I'm so not that person. I need time for everything, right? So, but when that's why it's so important for me to partner with people who complement those characteristics. So that's how we can come together and collaborate, you know?
Yeah.
So that's your strength, and I don't have that. So when we come together, wow.
Well, it can be a strength or a weakness.
It can.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
can. Yes.
I'm learning right now in this part of my life to slow down, to take it all in,
Yes.
and not to be chasing.
Yes.
I've spent a majority of the first 40 years of my life chasing something, chasing a goal, chasing a guy, chasing something, and I'm now letting myself sit back and rest and let things come to me. Yeah. Or also be led by
Yes.
divine guidance.
Yes, yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. All a big part of our becoming, I think. And yeah, slowing down is a beautiful thing. Yeah, I tend to get very slow and be very comfortable with that. So let's I can just dive in it and stay in there for a really long time. But it's good. I'm happy with who I am, so it's okay.
Yeah.
That's the time I need, and it's okay.
Yeah.
So speaking of not doing residency, why was that?
I didn't match.
Oh, you
Yeah.
didn't match.
Yeah.
Okay, got
Yeah.
it. Okay,
I-
it wasn't a choice. Okay.
No, yeah. After applying, I think 3 years. Yeah,
That's
I applied
interesting.
3 years. I got an interview on the last one, but still didn't match. And it was at a certain point where it's like, okay, well, the debt has accumulated. I need to work. I need to start paying these bills,
Yeah.
you know? So it was just a decision. And thankfully, you know, I'm blessed with a loving family, and my brother and his wife offered to let me move in with them. And they were living in Santa Rosa at the time. And it was actually, I found out I didn't match the Monday after their wedding. Yeah. So like
Okay.
it was their wedding weekend back in Sacramento, and the next Monday is when you get those emails. And so the wedding happens, fun weekend, and then I find out, okay, I didn't match. So a few months later, that's when they were like, if you want to like get out of Sacramento, move in with us, try to figure things out, then you're more than welcome to. And that's kind of what led me to Ayurveda. Like it was when I was living in Santa Rosa that I happened to go to a UPS store that the GPS took me to when I thought it was taking me to a different one. So I ended up at this different UPS store and just got to chatting with the owner, who was, I believe, from Pakistan. And his wife was a pharmacist in Pakistan, but when she came to the US, she couldn't, like those units, that profession she was years in wouldn't transfer over. And so he and I were talking about that and the medical system and that kind of stuff. And he told me about an Indian man that had told him a long time ago to just drink warm lemon water every morning and you'll never get sick. And he's like, and I listen and I never get sick.
Okay.
And he was, and then when I walked out of that conversation, I clearly heard, like, go back to your roots. Like it was, and to preface, clearly heard, I didn't know at that time that I was clairaudient, that I could hear spirit. But that's what I heard. Like, go back to your roots. And then that's when I started looking up Ayurveda programs.
I see.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Fascinating. Fascinating.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay. I don't even understand how that can happen. That you don't match up. That's beyond me.
You know, most people don't realize, let's just keep it to the US.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
There are hundreds, if not thousands, of medical schools, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So each school has, let's just say, a minimum of 50 students. So thousands of medical schools with 50 students in just 1 year, right? So let's say there's thousands graduating, right? Thousands applying for residency. And it can be in anything. And we'll just generalize to general medicine, right? General practitioner.
Yes. Yes.
So there's thousands of graduates, thousands of applications going into maybe hundreds of residency programs, right? So they have to, these programs, residency programs that start only once a year. So if you're a first year going in, there's thousands of applications and maybe hundreds, and I'm like dumbing these numbers down, but like hundreds of slots open, right? So the people that run the programs have thousands of applications that they have to sift through and maybe interview 100 or a few hundred to fill in maybe 50 spots or 2 spots, depending on the size of the program. So,
Wow.
yeah.
I see.
So there's not enough residency programs for the amount of people graduating medical school.
Wow, that's still beyond me because I have worked with so many parents who were doctors and I had no idea of the process. And so this is bringing me to ask you, and if I ask really dumb questions, forgive me.
I don't think there's dumb questions.
Thank you. So what if, if things were to change today, would you still take that path of becoming a doctor?
What do you mean if things were to change today?
Today, if you were chosen to go into residency, would you, how does that even work? See how ignorant I am?
No, I wouldn't.
You
No.
wouldn't.
Who I am today would never go back into that system.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, mic drop.
Yeah.
Okay, I see. I see.
Yeah. I was
Okay.
led on that path to Ayurveda for a reason. Yeah. And Ayurveda is only the ancient medicine of India. There's ancient medicine on every continent, in every country. And ancient medicine looks at the individual and what's going on with the individual. And I like to call Western medicine New Age medicine because it's the newest one of them all. Ancient medicine is ancient for a reason.
Right.
It's always been.
Right.
But Western medicine is the New Age medicine. It came only a little over 100 years ago. And it doesn't look at the individual. It looks at the symptoms. It groups people into categories. And individuals are different. Individuals have different life experiences. Individuals have different reasons they develop these diseases.
Well, I've been on a journey with my health as well last year, and I'm just coming out of it. And I made my own decisions based on how my body was feeling, and I have access to amazing doctors, and I love them so dearly. And do you think that there is benefit to both systems.
Oh,
when
yes.
we okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I definitely think there's a benefit to both. There's a time and a place for both.
Yes.
I always say, like, if I'm in a car accident and I break a bone or something, take me to the ER. Like, I want someone to realign that, you know? So in an acute emergency situation, yes, I think it comes in handy. When it comes to prevention and healing, I don't think that's it.
That's where I landed after going through a surgery myself and understanding my body. But there were other things that even brought me to having a diagnosis, and I wondered why, because I could tell that my tumor was growing so fast all of a sudden, something that I've had for like 15 years at the size of a mustard seed. And then because I was under so much stress, this was growing. And that's when I was like, okay, I need to go get this checked.
Yeah.
And then after the procedure also, how I approached it was absolutely right for me. It may not be for other people, but your body is your body and you can run with it the way you want. That's the only thing nobody has control over, right? So I will talk about that at a different podcast. I don't want to take up our time for that, but I am so pleased to verify those messages with people who are doing this work of healing, trauma healing, and all of that good stuff.
Yeah.
So that brings me to trauma now. This is, again, I did not plan to talk about all these things, but trauma. What do you make of that? Have you had major traumas in your life, and would you say you've had?
I don't want to say the word major because trauma is trauma.
Trauma is trauma.
I don't think
you're right.
Saying that someone's is worse than another's
Yes.
makes someone's healing different than anyone else's. Because depending on how someone views their trauma, I don't think there should be comparison, right?
Yes.
Trauma is trauma.
Trauma, yes.
I think we all go through various forms of it because, like, for me, I would say it has a lot to do with being the child of immigrant parents, but no one taught them better, right? So if they don't know better, how can they do better?
Absolutely.
They only knew based on survival.
Yes.
And they only knew based on what they were taught and how they were raised.
Yes.
So my childhood trauma would be more in the like disciplinary areas, or the lack of patience. So like being a child that was curious or high energy, but being dealt with in a lack of patience, I will say. But it wasn't till I got older that I realized, oh, I have certain behaviors and characteristics in certain relationship situations because of the way I was raised. So it's my responsibility to face those traumas and heal those traumas. I can't go back to my parents and be like, you did this, because no one taught them better, but I can be better.
Yes.
So I can heal those
Yes.
and be better moving forward.
That's right. And that's how we stop the generational
Exactly.
impact of trauma. And I apologize that I did not mean to minimize trauma at all, because one of the things that my pastor, Herman Hamilton, talks about is there are the big traumas that we talk about, and then the accumulation of little traumas, right? There's the big T and the small t, and we all have to heal those traumas.
Exactly.
And then so we don't impact generational trauma. Right? So thank you for sharing that. These are tough conversations, and I'm so, again, very grateful that you're so courageous to share them. So let's jump into another big topic.
Okay.
So I heard you talking about chasing romance and chasing love. Tell me your experience about love and what that means, what that was for you before, and what it is for you today.
I think before it was, well, we'll just say culturally, we're not taught how to date, right?
Yes.
And then, and the reason we're not taught how to date, and I'll say culturally, as an East Indian via the Fiji Islands, my parents had an arranged marriage. So there was no dating that happened. So they don't know what dating is. So
Right.
how are they going to teach their daughter what dating is?
Right.
Right. So
Right.
instead it's that overprotective, overbearing, you can't do this, you can't go out, don't see, that kind of stuff. But then you're first generation born in the US and it's a whole different culture that you're being raised with outside of your household, where you're seeing your friends dating, you're seeing your friends going out and whatnot.
Yes.
So it was a lot of not knowing what it's supposed to look like, what it's supposed to feel like. And so it wasn't until probably a few years ago that I realized, one, I chase, because I said earlier, I'm an Aries, right? Like I'm constantly chasing something. So if something
Yes.
that is nice to me, that I feel like I would want to spend time with, or a person I want to spend time with, how can I always be with them? Like, how can I obtain this goal, right?
Right.
And then the person to me becomes a goal, not a person.
Right.
So then I'm chasing this goal, but then no one wants to be chased and controlled, right? And I realized, so
Absolutely.
through my own healing of those childhood traumas of what I thought love was, because your parents are the first ideal of what unconditional love is supposed to be, right? And when it's control, you think that's what it's supposed to be in a romantic relationship.
That's right.
And so that was a big epiphany for me of like, oh my God, this is what I end up doing anytime I start dating someone. And I realized, so my goal for 2025 is I'm not chasing. Like, I usually don't do New Year's resolutions, but like that's what this year's resolution was. I'm not chasing anything. I'm literally taking it one day at a time. If something piques my interest, great. If someone wants to take me out, I'll ask like myself, my heart, is this something I want? Yes or no? Like, but I'm working on the not chasing aspect because now I realize where it stems from and what different choices I can make
Yes.
if I choose to go down that path with someone.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Do you see yourself wanting a relationship or rather being in marriage? Do you see yourself, and is that something you want? I want people to hear this.
Those are two different things to me. Relationship and marriage are two different things.
Yes.
Marriage is a piece of paper, in my opinion. Now, if it's the right relationship, and it's someone, after having discussion, is someone I'd be willing to go down that path with, then yeah, sure, why not, right? Why not make it legal?
Yes.
But I know plenty of people that are in relationship or partnership and happier and the paper is really just a paper.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
It's how two souls connect and
Yes,
how they
yes.
get along.
Yes.
And yeah.
And I loved when you said when we try to control people.
Yeah.
And that's for any relationship, right? So when we put our own agenda into them,
Yeah.
without an agreement on what we agree on and how
Exactly.
we can meet in the
Yeah,
middle,
yeah.
right? And or go fully on to support another person.
Yeah.
And so I heard you say that you have a loving family who supported you when things were rough for you. And do you feel supported now?
Oh, yeah.
And you have support. Who gives you most support, or who do you lean on for support?
Well,
when you
God. It's
need?
always God. God is always my first. I always say God is my best friend. Like, because that's a personal relationship.
It is.
That's
and
a very personal relationship. And yeah.
This is pretty fascinating again for me, because I didn't talk to you because of that reason.
Yeah.
I did not know what your faith looks like, and here I am I want to say God brings these people who put God first before anything. And that's what has changed for me as well. I met God a few years ago, but he was not above all things for me. And here I am talking to you, and I am in that as well. And things are shifting profoundly because I put God first. No one comes before him. So thank you for sharing that
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Wow, fascinating. Fantastic. Okay. Wow, we covered some very beautiful things. Okay. So I know that you shared what you're doing now, from going to medical school and right now to make ends meet and for you to cover what you have to cover. You are doing something, and that fascinated me when I heard. So would you like to share that?
I don't know
What are you doing now to for work?
Oh,
It is very, very funny and fun and fascinating.
I started driving a school bus.
Do you hear that,
Yeah.
my audience? Yeah. She started driving a school bus. I was blown away because not only because she's doing it, but I know someone else too who did that, who is doing that in
Yeah.
Canada. One of my very close friends who got married to this man who was so highly qualified, and he went to England to get qualified, and then they moved to Canada
Yeah.
and had to pay bills.
Yeah.
And some of the high-end jobs did not, just because you have you get to use your titles doesn't mean that it pays you enough
Yeah.
and give you flexible hours
Yeah.
when you're raising children.
Yeah.
So they had to decide between a teacher and somebody else that how are we going to make this work, because we don't have money to send our children to school and pay for daycare and all the expenses
Yeah.
that come with it. So one decided to work in the morning, the other one had to work at night.
Yeah.
And the way to do it at night was for him to drive public transportation. So that's how they made it work.
Yeah.
And they made it work. They own what they want to own. They have two beautiful children that they've, funded to
Yeah.
go to school.
Yeah.
So the immigrant story is quite fascinating also.
Yeah, I have quite a few coworkers that are immigrants
Yeah.
that had very good jobs in their home countries.
Yep.
But then coming to America, it was, how do we make this work?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you again for sharing that. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. This is fascinating. Okay. So tell me, let me see if I'm covering everything. Yeah, actually I am. What brings you joy? I love your smile. Laugh.
I mean, most things do, because I've come to a place in my life where I only do things that bring me joy. Like, I'm no longer doing things that don't bring me joy.
Yes.
In fact, this job that I have of driving the school bus, I enjoy, and I had put in for a position in the office that would give me, the 40 hours a week and whatnot. And I started doing a few extra hours in there, and I realized I didn't like it. And so I withdrew my application because I was like, no, I'm miserable coming in here, and I don't get to have the flexible schedule that bus driving gives me, especially
Yeah.
the school bus.
Yes.
I've been enjoying summer break. And that was one of the reasons I decided to apply for school bus driver, was because I wanted to enjoy my summer break. So, I only do things now that bring me joy.
Yes.
If there's something that is resistant to it, I know not to go in that direction.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a conscious choice.
Yeah.
To live with
Yeah.
joy. And then, what brings you peace?
Nature, this backyard is beautiful. But yeah, typically nature, or just, I call my own backyard my sanctuary, because there's greenery, there's the water element of the pool, and then it's Sacramento, so it's hot. That's the fire element. So
That's right.
tending, bodies of water too, tend to bring me peace. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Water does something for us, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you were in the Caribbean. Which part of the Caribbean? if I may
Aruba.
ask? Aruba. Okay.
Yeah.
So you must have been by the water a lot.
No, because it was med school.
Why did I not remember that?
The
Yes.
only time we would go to the beach, the friends that I made out there and I, was after exams. Once an exam was over and we were
Yes.
all out, we were home to get our swimsuits and then to the beach with our floaties.
Yes, yes, I see.
Yeah.
Okay, that's beautiful. And then what do you, let me not forget this. So I very recently found out something fascinating again. Like, this is a person with multiple genres.
I'm an old soul. A very old soul.
I don't know that. I am older, so let's not.
No, the
do
soul.
That.
The soul is
okay,
very
okay.
old.
Got you. Okay.
This body isn't, but the
Yeah.
soul is.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. So, I heard that you also do speaking to. How do I say this word? You know what I'm thinking, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm losing my words.
The
right now.
mediumship.
The mediumship.
Yeah.
Yes. Tell us about that a little bit. I know you're not doing it professionally, but who knows?
Well, I do. I didn't realize I did this my whole life. The ability to hear spirit guides or angels or whatever. In fact, when I was in my 20s, my friends used to joke because they'd ask questions and I would just have an answer and the answer made sense. And they called them Rani-isms at the time.
I love it.
But when I started doing Reiki, which is the Japanese form of energy work,
That's right.
I realized when I would work on the person, I would hear messages for them. And I didn't know what that was. I would just write it down and tell them at the end. I didn't know. I'm like, okay, like I keep hearing to write these down, so let me write these messages down for them. And then we discuss it after. And in discussion, I would realize like it wasn't Rani. Like it was like I had like a seat next to me and something else was speaking to the client to clarify the message for them. And then I read this book called The Art of Psychic Reiki, and I realized I was hearing spirit as a clairaudient because that's my strongest gift for the messages, and then I would become a channel for spirit afterwards. And so it was more recently that I started trusting that that's what was happening.
I see.
Because there's a period in learning that I was, there's that like, well, is this really guidance or is it not? You know, like you doubt the ability.
Yes.
But then more and more times I would do Reiki or meet with someone, I could feel the difference in me, like if I was channeling versus not channeling. And Reiki only strengthened the abilities. Yeah, so it's much stronger when I do Reiki because of the manner in which I ground myself to perform the energy work. And I'm just getting into building, doing it virtually.
I
Just channeled
see.
messages.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I wonder, are you doing it right now?
Sometimes, yeah.
Like in this very moment?
Not in this very moment,
Okay,
no, because I'm
okay.
just sharing my own experiences.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're not in that space of,
No,
okay,
no.
listening. Okay. All right. Got it. Yeah, I'm fascinated. Yeah, I'm like, okay, is anybody talking to you
No,
right next
there's
to you?
a like. Sometimes if I'm out with people, it will happen, and I know that it's happening because I can feel the shift in myself, and I know it's a message that that person needs to hear at that moment.
I see.
So that's why it like Rani shifts over, and it's whatever guidance needs to come through for that person. But otherwise, in order for that to happen, I have to like
Channel.
ground myself and get into a meditative state and be able to open the channel to
Very fascinating.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So many. Okay. What about music? Do you like music?
I kind of listen to everything. I feel like everyone I've met in life has introduced me to different kinds of music. So, but as far as myself, I tend to just be like, in the mornings, I won't listen to anything. Like when I drive to work or something, like it's just quiet and just contemplative.
Yes.
For some reason, I'm really into country music over the last like 7 years.
Yes,
I don't know
yes,
why,
yes,
but yeah,
I do.
that's been on top rotation.
Okay. What comes to mind when you think of country music right now, if you were to think?
It's that joy thing. Yeah. It brings me joy right now. Yeah.
Can you think of any artists that you like?
Um,
Old soul,
When I
like
first
Dolly
got-
Parton kind of old soul, or
I mean, I like some Dolly, but I think the artist that first got me into listening to it more was Jason Aldean.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yes, there's some other ones that have just grown on me.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Shabuzi's fun to listen to right now. Yeah.
Beautiful. And what's your role in your family right now? Are you caring for your parents? How does that look? Your family life look right now?
Well, I am back at home with my parents. But as far as taking care of them, not necessarily. They're very healthy. They're very able-bodied. But I am glad to be there because in certain respects, especially technology-wise, like I grew up with knowing traditional things, but on the cusp of like when technology
Emerging
entered,
into?
like I was grown enough to realize like we were the one hooking up the internet and doing, you know what I mean? Like,
yes.
so I'm definitely glad to be at home close to them so that they don't get taken advantage
Yes,
of by
yes.
scams, spam, like that type of stuff.
Yes,
But they're very
Independent and
able-bodied. Yeah.
That's
That's one thing
beautiful.
I'm very proud of them. They're healthy.
yes.
They're not on any medications. Like, yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. It's wonderful to hear. I lost my mom during COVID, not for COVID, but yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's at 67, and
wow.
I lost my dad at 63.
Oh, hell yeah.
And it's too young,
Yeah.
right? So I'm hopeful that I will live longer and healthier and
Yeah.
happier.
Yeah.
But they're happy together. But yeah, it's hard to lose parents.
Oh gosh,
Very, very
I can't
hard.
even imagine.
No.
We just lost a dog, and that was.
Yes, tell me about that. I am so sorry. I forgot to touch on that, and I
Oh, it's
had
okay.
every
No,
intention to.
no, that's okay. Today's actually a week that he passed. We made the right decision, but it's crazy how much of the family they're part of the family. There's certain
right.
things that first week, they're not part of the routine anymore. Yeah. So it's definitely like losing a family member. Yeah. And we had him for almost 18 years.
Wow, that's a long time.
Yeah.
That's a long time to have anything.
Yeah.
This time and day,
Yeah.
right? Like something. Okay, so God is my constant, right? And then there are dogs who are your constants.
Which is God spelled backwards.
Yes, exactly. Yes. So before we go, I really like to give you the full platform to speak to anyone and say, what do you want people to know the most about you?
About me?
Yes.
Oh, I don't think the message is about me as much as it is that what I think people need to hear is that they have a power and capacity within themselves that they have the ability to tap into. And it's honestly, it would just be like, stop giving your power away, because so
That's
many
right.
of us, myself included in the past, we think and look to experts, and experts are only experts in a certain thing.
That's right.
And only you can be an expert in yourself.
Yes.
Like, you have your mind, you have your body, you have the decisions you make for yourself. No one lives in your body. No one feels what you're doing
Yes.
except you. So look to the people that are teaching you to tap into the power you have within yourself. Yeah.
That brings me to, how do you create boundaries? Who do you create boundaries with?
Honestly, boundaries are for yourself.
Yes, so who do you, when you need to create a boundary, let's say, what kind of situation makes you put up boundaries?
Well, I don't think boundaries are put up, because that's a wall. If you're putting up a wall, that keeps people out.
Very nice.
But boundaries are for ourselves. So, for example, I know that I have to take care of my health, because no one's going to do it for me. And one way I do that is through movement. I like to go to the gym. So a boundary for me is, unless it feels right, I'm not doing anything to compromise the hours I'm spending in the gym, because that's for me.
Yes.
If I compromise that boundary on myself, I'm not going to feel good later. Right?
I love this. I needed to hear this.
So, boundaries are not to keep people out. Boundaries are for ourselves, to keep our cup full, to keep, that's how I see boundaries.
Yes. Okay, and let me see if there's anything that, do you feel there's anything that you want to cover in your story that we haven't covered?
Not necessarily. No.
Thank you so much
You're
for
welcome.
doing
Thank
this
you for
today.
having me.
Oh my goodness. I am so grateful for you being here and giving me this time when you don't even know me that much. and trusting to drive all this way and just purely trusting. To me, trust is a very important thing, that when to be seen, heard, and validated. And you did that for me. So
Good.
thank you
You're
for
welcome.
just trusting me, told me that it's all good, and yes, and you can take care of yourself if I am not the person who's going to do that.
Yeah.
So you had that trust in you. And
The thing I will say when it comes to who I am is, I will always be people's biggest cheerleaders if they have something that they want to accomplish in life. As someone who always is just a go-getter and will just try something just to see if I like it or not, I will always support those that are trying to try something or build something. Like, so if I can be a little boost of confidence to help you move forward in it, like, of course I'm going to say yes.
That's exactly what you did. That's exactly what you did. And you always showed up in that way for me. So I know now that that is what you live for.
Yes.
You support people.
Yes.
You do. And I love that. I love that. And we need more of you, me, and yes, to give a boost to the people who really want to do something that maybe others won't see as something valuable, but
Someone
for you,
will.
yes, someone
will.
will find it valuable.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, Dr. Rani, thank you again for today.
You're
and I
welcome.
hope we'll meet again and do some more of this in the future. But for today, I think this is fantastic.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Thank you.